Hey everyone, Samuel here from the floor at HIMSS 24. I'm with Kaveh Safavi. He's the Senior Managing Director of Global Healthcare for Accenture. Everyone knows Accenture, but how's the show been for you guys?
It's been great. I like the energy. It feels like it's back to where it was before the pandemic. One difference we're seeing is a lot more of our clients and organizations from outside the U.S. are here. I think HIMSS has become a global destination. For me and for us, that's a great thing because I work with people in all the countries.
You have a lot of clients all over the world. Obviously, healthcare is global indeed, but I think that's nice. HIMSS has become that space for the global conversations. And so what are some of the conversations you're having with your clients and your people you're talking to?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're allowed to be in a room in a business meeting and not talk about generative AI. So everyone talks about generative AI. I think what you really see is somewhere between excessive optimism and excessive pessimism. People are trying to find what reality is like. And we've had a year to try to figure that out. So you see product companies trying to figure out whether generative AI really makes their products different. I think we see client organizations trying to figure out how material it is. Is it just experimentation? Is it going to have some scale to it? Those are the kind of conversations we see right now.
And it's a balance, right? Some organizations are going to be a little bit more willing to kind of push the envelope, and some will be a little bit more reticent.
Right, especially because it's still early. So you have to have a willingness to experiment. It's not like this is a mature, proven technology and you're negotiating simply the pace, or at least that's how organizations feel. There are other organizations, and outside of healthcare we see this, people have really come to the conclusion that it's inevitable, and we're only negotiating pace as opposed to whether or not it's going to matter.
I mean, you're just kind of putting your fingers up in the air and reading the wind. Like, do you think everybody's very optimistic on what generative AI can do in healthcare? What are some of the things you're excited about it doing?
Well, the dominant issue globally is really the workforce shortage. The math on it is the demand for healthcare because of the aging population is growing so fast relative to the working population available in any sector that by the numbers, there's not enough human beings available to provide healthcare services if we do it the way we do it today. So that means we're going to have to figure out how to scale human capacity, care units. And the problem with that is most of the technology that we have to date was largely designed to help humans make better decisions, not to take tasks over and give people time back. Fortunately, generative AI, because it is essentially technology that can take over reading and writing, not necessarily judgment, but reading and writing, that takes up a lot of people's time. And we finally have a technology that can take 10, 15% of people's tasks, do it for them, give them that time back, and that actually is an answer to what otherwise feels like an intractable problem.
Yeah, and it's something that obviously providers got into the business to talk to and care for patients, and not necessarily having to do the back-end office work that comes with a lot of doctor's visits.
Right, and nurses. Yeah, I mean, we have the nursing shortage is worse than the doctor shortage, and about half of what a nurse does is write stuff down.
Yeah. Well, it's been fantastic to see generative AI. I see a lot of it on the floor. And I'm excited by some companies that are taking these big ideas and tackling a very specific problem set and saying, we're going to solve this.
Yeah, it's easier for people to understand it when you focus on a specific problem. The challenge is that what you realize is that you're going to need a capability to address multiple use cases over time, and you run the risk when you do it that way of sub-optimizing your capabilities across many endeavors. That's exactly the problem our clients are struggling with, is should they solve one problem perfectly or create a capacity to solve many problems?
So it's somewhere less than perfect, but still
and create the base that they can then solve many problems from. Because if they solve one problem perfectly, but they don't make it a base, the next problem they have to create a completely original answer, including the technology.
Yeah, kind of that platform approach versus an individual point solution.
And it's hard for most companies, it's hard to envision needing a platform until after you've built a bunch of use cases, and then it speaks to you, and you realize you need a platform.
Right. Well, it's a big challenge. We appreciate you guys being here on the floor and taking some time to chat with us. And obviously, you guys have a pulse of healthcare, talking with so many organizations all over the world, and that's all for now.